Hello! Welcome to my review of the most recent beta book for the role playing game Ultimum. Which, if you haven't checked it out, I'll leave a link below to both the site where you can go and check out the beta book yourself, and you can get to play it and try it out and see if you're going to want to take part in the final release, which I believe is slated for maybe October. I'll also leave a link down below to uh, my first talk. I think this might be actually the third time I've talked about Ultimum. It's either my second or my third. I can't remember. But I'll leave a link to those videos also below. So if you're just jumping in, you just saw this video and you want to know like what the hell is he talking about, go check out all two to three of those links. Um, if you've watched me talk about this before, excellent. And we're just going to jump right in because I'm only going to talk about what the changes from this book from the last book were. So that's what I'm really going to focus on. So I'm not really going to talk about the system too much. I'm not going to talk about the basic elements. I'm going to talk about what's new and things like that. So right off the bat, the new book is bigger. That's always a plus. And with it being bigger, there's been a lot of changes. Pretty much all of them are improvements. I can't think of anything that I necessarily thought negatively of the change. So, I mean, right off the bat, character creation has improved immensely. I originally felt that after building a handful of characters, that I felt really skill starved in the original book. I feel that less so now. I feel that all the attributes, for the most part, um, are better because of how the system works. Having a better attribute die to begin with is important because it keys off a die step. So if you only have a D4 in something, well, you're just kind of SOL on that. Uh, and I believe maybe it's just a perception that I haven't looked at the original book in so long, but I felt there was a lot more skills that were at D6 as opposed to D4. I think I can only think of like a handful that were D4s, and I like this because uh, I didn't feel like my character was hampered, literally from character creation. So right off the bat, I really enjoyed that. I felt that you got more skill points than you did before. However, I still feel a little bit starved on my skill points. I would like to see not even a ton more, just a little bit more. Because when I ran a playtest the other day of the one shot in the back of the book, which I'll get to in a moment, I built a Crocodan. Well, I kind of struggled to be able to make the character I wanted with the skills that I had. Just because his intelligence was low, so I couldn't, pick up um, all the block and weapon training and all the things I really wanted. I didn't want a lot of things, but I didn't even really feel I had enough to put even a point in to gain a boon. But but definitely it's an improvement from what it was last time, and definitely good how it is. I would just like to see just a little bit more. I think it could definitely improve the game. Um, Moving out of character creation, we move into uh, combat. It's really where I'm going to go next because that's the next area that got a big change. Combat has been, I don't want to say simplified, but it's been very, very well explained now. Originally, I had to ask the creator a lot of questions, about this, that, anything and everything to do with combat. I'm pretty sure I had to ask, even after reading the book. This new book did made that all irrelevant. Um, Everything's really well designed. Everything's got a placeholder for a picture that will come later. That in my belief of what will be there, will take that extra step to explain everything to the nth degree, so that you don't have questions. That when you pick up the game, it's very very easy to get started. And I like that because the combat in Ultimum is, I don't know, it's rather complex, uh, but it's only complex because it's unfamiliar. It it's easy enough to pick up once you begin to understand it. However, if you get caught up in that in how it works, it's so unfamiliar. There's not a lot of parallels you can draw. I feel so. It's very important that this game uh, explains everything very well, and this book has done that. Like I said, I played it the other day, and I pretty much had to relearn the entire game for myself. And between me and my players trying to figure things out, we were able to get everything very easily. Um, there was the gear table didn't really change much. I still love it as much as I did before. Um, the Nearing the back of the book is where a bigger edition started to come out. Um, there was the addition of a game master section, which is good. I enjoy it because it helps to kind of piece things together. I believe I flipped through that. I think it was the game master section. Either it might have been the game master section or it might have just been the adversary section. Because that's the other thing is there's now an adversary section, and the adversary section I really like because it gives you some monsters and creatures that really fit within the world and gives you um, a good sense of what's out there, and what your characters can encounter. Um, One problem that I did have was I felt that it was really helpful to have all those things, but I also would have really liked to see some more common creatures. Things like thugs or bandits or basic recruits or something that I could use a lot early on, um, because that I felt was really lacking, um, and kind of a pain that there was no grunt, there was no recruit that I could use as my fodder characters, which actually ties directly into a problem I had with the module in the back. Which the module in the back is really fun. It's good. It's well written. Um, it's very easy to grab and go. It's easy to take little details here and there and just kind of extrapolate your own or read it. All of it's really well done. I'm not going to talk too much about its content because if someone watches this who is going to end up playing that, I don't want to spoil anything. One problem I did have with it, and this was actually a very big problem for me, um, it lists what adversaries are going to be in a fight. Like it'll say like, oh, it's going to be these things in this fight, but there's no stat block for them. And one could say character creation is not that hard. I can do it myself, which is true. That's valid. At the same time, if I'm picking up a pre-made module, I expect that those are already designed. I expect that I don't have to, because the idea of the module is I can pick it up and play. I don't have to. My prep revolves around reading. I don't have to design creatures. I don't have to design the adversaries. I don't have to design the bosses. I don't have to design any of that. And the fact that was lacking from the module was definitely a problem for me. Now, it could just be that it was the alpha, or it could be, um, they just kind of ran out of time. I don't know. But if possible, I definitely would like to see that the stat block added. Um, at least the addition of a thug stat block in that adversary book, so I could use that instead. Just something. Um, but overall, the changes are all a huge improvement. As I've mentioned, I believe that some things could go a little bit further. Other things are perfect where they are, I feel. Um, but overall, Still a super strong game. I'm still super excited that I backed it. I cannot wait for the final release. I cannot wait for the app and all the crazy things that I backed to get, like little miniatures and shirts and all sorts of stuff. So, like I said, I'll put a link down below. Go check out the beta book for yourself. Get started playing. Check out the Facebook group and just start playing. I think everyone will greatly enjoy this game once they start learning how to play it. And I'm 90% sure that I'm about to start a campaign of this. So, until next time, go check it out and play it. And, if you do, let me know down below in the comments what your experiences were and what your thoughts were. Take it easy, guys.